You know that dream of seeing your own name on the letterhead, of building a law practice from the ground up, completely on your own terms? Look, it is a huge undertaking, no doubt about it. But it's also one of the most rewarding journeys a lawyer can ever take. So let's break down the roadmap for turning that ambition into a thriving reality.
So, where are we getting all this great advice from? Well, the framework for this explainer comes from some incredible experts in the field, Professors Cuomo Judkins and Raquel Brown. They shared their wisdom at an event hosted by the UDC Law Business Law Society, so we're building on a foundation of real-world, super practical advice.
So is the answer yes? If it is, you are absolutely in the right place. But here's the thing about being your own boss. It is so much more than just freedom. To really truly succeed, it's going to require a solid strategy, some serious discipline, and a crystal clear vision.
And that leads us perfectly into our first and, arguably the most important step. Before you even start thinking about business cards or bank accounts, you have to build the blueprint. What is this firm actually going to be?
These foundational questions go way beyond just a business plan. They're deeply personal. Who will you serve? Yeah, that defines your niche. But what season of life are you in? That's the one that ensures your firm fits your life and not the other way around. And as you get established, you're going to get more visible, so you have to be ready for that. But the most crucial point here, slow, steady growth is sustainable growth. This is a marathon, not a sprint.
Okay, vision, check. Now, it's time to talk about the fuel for your engine, the money. Let's dig into how you can build a realistic financial plan to bring that vision to life.
Let's just start with a hard number. Even if you're working from your kitchen table, you can't escape startup costs. The experts suggest you should probably budget somewhere between $5,000 and $7,000 just for your initial marketing. And you have to stop thinking of this as an expense. It's not. It's your very first investment in landing your very first clients. So once that revenue starts trickling in, where does it all go? Well, here's a really simple, powerful model to follow. 30% goes right back into marketing to fuel future growth. 40% is for operations to keep the lights on. And 30%, that's for you. That's your profit. The key is to be intentional with your money from day one. Create a system that sustains both the business and you, the founder. But where does that initial capital even come from? Well, you've got options, and each one really serves a different purpose. A day job gives you that steady, stable income while you build up a client base. Credit unions, they often have really favorable terms. Microloans are kind of perfect for covering those initial tech and marketing costs, while the bigger startup and SBA loans, well, they can fund some pretty significant expansion. The path is totally scalable to whatever your ambition is. Okay, you've got the vision, you've got a financial plan. Now it's time to build the actual structure of your firm. We're talking the legal and technical nuts and bolts that make this whole thing official. Look, I know the bureaucracy can feel intimidating, but it's really just a checklist. If we use Washington, D.C. as our example, it's a pretty clear 3-step process. You register your business entity, you get your federal tax ID, and then you register for local taxes. Just follow these steps, and boom, your firm becomes a legal reality. And here is a step you absolutely, positively cannot skip. Malpractice insurance, seriously. This isn't just about protecting your clients, it's about protecting you. We're talking your personal assets, your house, your savings, everything. That annual premium is such a small price to pay for professional security, and honestly, just peace of mind. The firm is built. Now, who are you going to serve? This section is all about the lifeblood of your practice, finding and attracting the right clients. Get this, a 44% increase in profit. Just let that sink in for a second. This one statistic right here shows that in today's world, that social proof, like Google reviews, it isn't just a nice to have anymore, it's a powerful, essential engine for growth. All right, now for some advice that might sound a little weird. You might think starting a video blog or a vlog is a great way to get your name out there. But the experts actually caution against it. So why? Well, because vlogs often attract a huge audience of followers, not a pipeline of paying clients. Your marketing efforts need to be laser-focused on conversion, not just getting likes.
So we've built the firm and we've found clients. But how do you make sure that the most important asset, that's you, can actually go the distance? This brings us to sustainability.
Notice how all of these habits are really about setting boundaries, a hard cutoff time for work, a dedicated day off, mentors you can lean on, and putting your family first. Burnout is the single greatest threat to a new firm. And these habits, they're like the firewalls you build to prevent it. Mastering this early is a skill that will pay off for your entire career.
And we end right where we began, with your vision. Building a law firm, it tests your skill, your endurance, and your strategy. But at its heart, it's really a test of belief. Belief in the value you provide and belief in yourself. With confidence and consistency, you can absolutely see it through. So what's your first step going to be?